What's up guys, Twitchy here, and today we're going to try something a little bit impromptu. We're going to call this an impromptu tutorial or a first walkthrough on setting up a dark and light server. So, just like my previous tutorials with using Arc Server Manager, we are going to use the same people made basically something called Dark and Light Server Manager. So you just go out to the web, don't know why that opened, but you go out to the web, and I'm going to leave this link in the description area. It's basically DNL Server Manager .freeforms.net/thread2/downloads, and you get the latest download just like you do for Arc Server Manager. All right, so come in here. We want to extract all on this, and we're just gonna rename this DNL SM, Dark and Light Server Manager. We are going to extract it just so I can keep it separate, from my other stuff that I got going on. Now, normally, I would put this on a secondary drive. However, I don't really have one. You know what I mean? So, just like Arc Server Manager, I'm going to pop this into the root of the C, which I wouldn't normally do on a computer, and I don't recommend doing on a computer. And then we're going to start this bad boy up for the first time. And it says that basically you don't have a data directory set. You want to click OK on that. And I'm just going to use its folder as its directory for right now. And then it says the server manager will store profiles and Steam CMD in the following directories. C, the folder we just made, profiles, Steam CMD, will go in C, the folder we just made, Steam CMD. Is this okay? Yeah, it's fine. And it's going to download the Steam CMD. Alright, so after it's done downloading the Steam CMD and stuff, it'll open the Server Manager window. Just like in Arc Server Manager, we're going to click this little plus button right here, top left. It's an unnamed profile. I'm just going to name it DNL Test, because that's pretty much all this is. Nothing's been installed as of yet. So we're just gonna make this test. We're gonna make the admin password test. And we're gonna make the spectator password test, because it's all tests. And we're gonna name the server DNL DNL-test as well. Let's see here. What do we got? We got the normal ports just like in Arc. Local IP, we're going to go ahead and set to the recommended. I'm going to go to, no, I'm not going to use raw sockets. We're not going to worry about the ban list. Let's go ahead and change the max players to 10. What do we got here? Enable idle timeout. Not worried about that. We're going to enable the Archon. Just because map or map name, I think there's only one that can be done. No mods as of yet. Message of the day. This is a test. Alright. So they've got the backup and the restore here. Autosave period says it's 15 minutes. It's almost exactly like the Arc setup. Let's see here. We're not going to mess with any of this, but they do have the hover over just like Arc Server Manager does. Right, so this is basically just like an Arc if it wants to force the low memory and all that good stuff. Server login options, enable admin logs, or server log options. Blech. Not really worried about any of that stuff. Launch arguments and server arguments, same basic deal as Arc. Any of these things that you have so far, right? And we're going to go ahead and click save on that just because. Now, we need to install the game, so we're going to go ahead and click the install button here. And I'm going to continue to come down through these settings and hopefully be able to do stuff. All right, so that right there all looks pretty good. We're going to do that. Go back into this. I'm not worried about any of the automatic management rules. So let's see, we can enable hardcore, prevent building in resource-rich areas, disable loot crates, enable PvP, disable friendly fire, allow crates to spawn on top of structures. I mean, this all looks exactly like Ark to me. Use corpse locator, allow platform saddle, multi-floors. Like, I don't know if any of this stuff actually equates to the Dark and Light game or not, but if it does, that is hilarious because it is exactly like Ark. Enable tribute downloads is in here. Tribute uploads is in here. Cluster tribute options is in here. Like, making sure I downloaded the right manager. Allow tribe alliances. Enable diseases. Nope. I don't know if there are diseases, but we're not enabling them. Alright. So yeah, the rules are pretty much the same. Chat notifications. HUD and visuals. Allow crosshair. Allow HUD. Allow map player. Allow third person. Allow floating damage. Allow third person. Like, why would you? It's a third person game, isn't it? Allow hit markers. So that's all the same. Player settings. Let's see what those are. It looks like enable flyer carry. I don't even know if that's part of this game or not. To be honest with you, I got in, I smacked a couple of stones, I did a couple of things, and that was it. Looks like you can do the health recovery and all that good stuff. Again, looks like almost exactly like Ark. Creature settings. Whoop. Oop, come on. So, I mean, it looks like, yeah, it looks like they definitely have the creatures there. But again, it's the same, like, per stat multipliers down in here. Everything, though, is set to 1, unlike Ark, so evidently they haven't nerfed yet. Just saying. But all of those settings look almost exactly like Ark as well. So, I mean, you could max XP your creatures and do all that good stuff. Environment, taming speed, harvest amount, resource respawn. Again, almost all exactly like Ark server managers settings. So that's good. Structures, structure decay, autos destroy structures, force all structure locking, passive again, almost exactly like Ark. Server files. Now here's the question, and this will be one for another day, is whether or not the exclusive join, whitelisting, and administrators work like they do in Ark. So yeah, that'll be a video for another day. We might go into a full, like, happy finished upgrade process. Really? You're telling me it's installed? Okie dokie. So yeah, we'll go into that. Custom users, that looks the same. Custom level progressions, that looks the same. So let's go ahead and save this bad boy and start the server up for the first time. Start it up. So, I mean, setting brick pad mini dump, that's all the same. If this is like Ark, then we'll have to start the server twice, which would be interesting. Another thing that'll be interesting is whether or not I can even get onto the server, even if it is on my LAN. The Voxel squad server, we're having some issues with connection, saying basically wrong password, even though it's not. You got to go in, you got to try to connect to it, then you got to back out of it, then because it'll start timing out, and then you've got to use a Steam link to get into the server so that you can put the password in again, then it works. So, it's early access, guys. I mean, what are you gonna do? You never really know what to expect with them. All right, well, I'm gonna let this load up, and I'll bring you guys back when it does. All right, guys, we're back real quick, and there's something that I need to tell you about that I don't know if it applies to this game or not. If you're already running an Ark server on the box that you're trying to create this on, it shouldn't be a big deal. However, if you're not, then it's going to be a little bit of a problem. So here's the basic thing. You can see I've got this VC Redist and 2015 folder on my desktop, right? So those basically are Visual C redistributables, right? So basically, if you go into your Steam folder, Steam apps, common, go into the game, and when you get into the game, it's gonna look, kind of like this. You're gonna see this common redist folder. Grab that. You want to install both of these. If you're already doing an Ark server, it's not a big deal. If you're already playing on the same box that you're on, it's not a big deal. But if you are doing a dedicated server, and this is the first time setup of any of these servers, make sure you install both of those in. It was a prerequisite for Ark. I'm pretty sure that the C+ is a prereq for Dark and Light as well. So I don't know about the DirectX though, but just do both of those up. So let's get in here and look, and let's go back to look at the folder structure here real quick. It looks exactly like Ark. I mean, your configs, content plugged in, save DNL. There's nothing in here. Config, Windows Server, Game INI. Edit. There's some stuff in now. All right. So what we're going to do now is we're going to shut down the server, and we are going to see here. DNL all. Does it have the game name like Ark does? Primal game data. Full startup. Number of cores. Version. I don't see the game name or the server name anywhere. Allow true. Okay. But now that because this folder wasn't created, now that this folder is actually created, what we're going to do is we're going to stop the server, right? It's already stopped because I was a dummy and hit the X button. We're going to save this again. While we're doing that, I'm going to come in here. I'm going to refresh. What time is it? 11:45. Did it save? Yeah, it was probably 11:44 when I did it. Okay, so let's go ahead and open up the game, user settings, INI, edit that. And let's look and see what's in here now. Test. Okay, so all of the passwords and everything are here. Everything's good to go. We're going to start the server. We're going to try to connect to it. And we're going to see if our first attempt at using DNL Server Manager was successful or not. So I will see you guys in a bit. All right, guys, we are back. And we are going to see what happens. It's pretty much where we're at here. So we're going to go to play online. We're going to go and make sure that our server filter is on LAN. And it is showing up. DNL test. It wants a password. We're going to put in test. Now, if it's like the other servers, the other server that I connected to, we may have to find another way to actually get into it. Not really sure. Okay, and as expected, that failed. Not because of the server itself, probably, but because of the early access issues. Alright, so yeah, it failed. Looks like again as well, without any kind of anything, right? So how are we going to get into this bad boy? We want to play. It's saying I got an invalid server password, and that's not true. Cancel out of that. Go back to here. I'm going to try to join from the servers list. And see if anything happens. Alright, guys. Third time's a charm. Basically, it allowed me to load up. You can see I've got the message of the day. This is a test. I'm gonna select a faction. Let's just go ahead and select a faction and get in to here. We're gonna go ahead. I think I have one saved. You're getting cold. Alright, so we are here. Now, out of curiosity, what can we see about it? DNL server name is DNL test. Map is DNL all. Server settings. Admin command logging disabled. Data downloads disabled. Non-hardcore mode. PvE friendly fire. Crosshairs enabled. Floating. Yeah. So that all looks good. Let's see if it does. Okay. Oh, hey. So tab does not get you. So that is one different thing from Arc. Tab does not get you into the command console. But guys, let's get out of this here. Let's go ahead and trigger death. Don't want to trigger death. So we're gonna get out of here. And we're gonna go back into the virtual server, and we're gonna look at the files again, just to kind of see what's going on. So we'll be back in a little bit. All right, guys. So we are back in to our server manager, or back into our virtual server. We're coming in here, and there's just something that I want to look at here out of curiosity, and that is the file structures. Let's see here for the save data. So save DNL, and what do we have? DNL anti-corruption backup.back. The DNL profile, DNL all.dnl. That would be the map, just like the island.arcs or whatever. The DNL profile would be my Steam 64 ID. So in our reality, just about everything about this is set up like Arc. So that's really cool. So if you guys have any experience with setting up an Arc server, and you have any experience with Arc Server Manager, then you should be able to use the DNL Server Manager to set up a server without much problems. The only issues you're going to run into is like right now with the quirkiness of logging into the server. After it fails, try to log in using, your Steam servers view, and then try to log in again without using, in main game. One of the combinations will get you in. For me, I tried in main game through Steam servers. In main game, it finally let me in. But yeah, as soon as it starts saying about invalid password and you're typing the password correctly, close out of the game and try again. Because for some odd reason, I don't know what it is. It's a bug. It's happening. Hopefully they fix it soon. But for now, like as of today, which is September the 2nd, as of right now, it isn't fixed. Here in probably a couple of months or so, I'm going to go into a more in-depth tutorial series for Dark and Light servers and stuff. For right now, though, I just wanted to get a first hands-on, get in, see how it was, see how it worked, see if I could basically get a server up and running in a short amount of time without any experience with the DNL server manager. So that's what this is all about. Hopefully it helped you guys out. You can see what it's all about. For anyone who doesn't have experience with Arc Server Manager, hopefully it helped you guys out. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, please consider giving me a little love on that like button, guys. And don't forget to subscribe if you have not yet already. It would be greatly appreciated. If you guys have any comments, questions, concerns, or complaints, please leave them in the old comments section below. Just like the Arc Server tutorial videos, I am going to try to do my best to answer your questions. I'm going to be spending the next several weeks probably getting better with getting these set up and see where the quirks are and stuff like that, and try to have some answers for you guys if I can. And as always, guys, thank you very much for checking this video out, and hope to see you next time.